Hello, I am the Phantom of the YouTube. And I know Halloween is over, but I am here to review for you something that none of you never thought. I am promise. Now I know Halloween is over, of course, and Multivoice Reviewer is not here. He's going to take a bit of a hiatus for this week. So I decided to show up and review to you the comic book adaptation of The Phantom of the Opera. Now, for those of you who don't know, it was written by a novel a long time ago, which a lot of people thought it was an event. It really happened, but not much is proven. And it was so popular that they did a silent film, couple of movies, and also a musical Broadway play by Andrew Lloyd Webber. And don't forget the Andrew Lloyd Webber sequel, The Phantom of the Opera, Love Never Dies. And also, Joel Schumacher decided to do a live action musical movie, but out of all the actors in the world, they choose Gerard Butler, a Scottish actor who can't sing. And the actress who played Christine, she was 16 for crying out loud. But she was a pop diva, so she had her experience of singing before she decided to star in Shameless and get naked and have sex scenes in that series. But I'm not here to talk about movie adaptations or even the parody like the Phantom of the Mall, Phantom of the Park, or that Goosebumps Phantom of the. Actually, I don't even know the title of that one. Surely it would pop up. And I'm also not talking about the Disney version, the Phantom of the, well, whatever that one's called. I'm here to talk about the comic book adaptation of the Phantom of the Opera. So let's dig in, shall we? Now, I thought the introduction was pretty interesting. Even one thing I thought was very interesting is that they show the map of the opera itself and numbering which room is it in this comic. And of course, the introduction was pretty neat. Now, for those of you who knows about the story, I think this is an adaptation. From the beginning, they show the opera itself, and of course, a man in a mask seeing ghosts floating all over the opera. But it turns out it's just a musical play from the opera. And now in one winter, doing another Broadway play, here we see Christine here, the one that the opera is in love with and helped her become a huge star. But Carlotta has been the one who's in the way. Oh, speaking of that, did any of you ever enjoy the Phantom versus Dracula audio? I say Michael A. Grimm did a pretty good job, and he does do a spot on Dracula. Sadly, I did not do the Phantom, but his friend Eric did a good job. I don't know how he did that voice, how he sounds so phantom like. Maybe I should learn how to talk like that. Hmm. But check out the Phantom vs. Dracula. I mean, it is an excellent audio that Michael A. Grimm ever created. Anyway, back to the opera. And as usual, they see one of the crew member gets hung behind the set of the opera. I have to say, its artwork is really creepy. And of course, the Phantom himself, which Christine calls the Angel of Music. And of course, there is Carlotta complaining about the threat note to the two managers. And the Phantom sprinkled a little something on her chalice and made her go very sleepy. And the Phantom decided to take him to his lair. While at the same... And of course, after he took Christine, she finally came back to her room. While the opera kept going. Oh, and this comic is not intended for kids, so there is a topless scene in it which I cannot show. But there's a scene with a chandelier collapse in front of the crowd. And of course, Raoul, who's trying to find Christine, gets knocked out, but he's not dead. But he wakes up with a bandage on his head. And everybody always talks about the Phantom. Is he a ghost? Is he really a phantom and all? Raoul knows that the Phantom is nothing but a man in a mask. And as usual, the Phantom takes Christine to his lair up on his horse. Although that's gotta say, it kind of sucks to have a horse in the sewer, since I knew nowadays you cannot have a horse in a sewer because it's completely uncomfortable and there's no hay for the horse to eat. Nightmare scenes continue on. The Phantom helping Christine and try to show his love for her. And while he plays the pipe organ, here's the famous scene where Christine sneaks up on the Phantom and removes his mask. And this is what he looks like in the comic. Now, for those of you who don't know, what happened to the Phantom? I mean, why does he look so deformed in the face? Well, it's pretty obvious, according to the book. He was born this way. Some people thought that his opera was caught on fire and the flame burned his face pretty bad. But not many people didn't read the novel itself. According to the book, Eric, that is the Phantom's name, he has a skull face. His face is like a skull. That kind of deformity. And every time people looks at it, they cannot stand his appearance. They say he looks more like death. Anyway, Eric freaked out after removing his mask. And he was very mad that he had to put on another mask so she doesn't have to can't stand the look of his deformity. And here's the party where the Phantom dressed up as the Red Death. And for those of you who don't know about the Red Death, if you ever read Edgar Allan Poe, Mask of the Red Death, you know exactly what I'm talking about. While Christine and Raoul went to the top of the opera, Eric, aka the Phantom, eavesdropped. And now he is so upset. Turns out that Christine, her heart belongs to Raoul, and Raoul loves Christine. So, the Phantom kidnaps Raoul by using chloroform, just to knock him out. And one person who knows about the opera is, of course, the Persian, right here. He's trying to get into the sewers and sees an army of rats laying there on the bottom. Now, Raoul and the Persian is trying to find their way into the opera in order to find the Phantom and save Christine. The Phantom gave Christine an option. Either hit one button, it has a symbol of a grasshopper, and the other one, it has a button shaped like a scorpion. So she hits the button. Hits one of the button, and one of the bell has rung, and the sewer starts to flood, almost killing Raoul and the Persian. But of course she wanted Raoul to survive, so she let them out. And the Phantom knew that Raoul loves Christine, and Christine does love Raoul, so he dare not want to kill Raoul. And when the group of people starts following him, the Phantom wore a hood and a cape and took off. So he hid from a lynch mob who's going after him. And there, how it happened. And here you see old man Raoul talking about the story and everything. And the dear Christine, she passed away so young. Well, too many words for me to read. But on every night when they go to the opera, they can hear the Phantom playing the pipe organ underneath the theater. Shows that he still mourns over the death of Christine. And this is the end of the comic book. Now, I have to say, this comic, it's not bad. I mean, has a few unexplained stuff, but all in all, it is pretty good and pretty faithful to the adaptation of the novel. So this is the comic book adaptation of The Phantom of the Opera. And for those of you who likes this review, please leave a comment down below, hit like and subscribe for more. But as for me, I have to keep going, because I heard the multi-voice reviewer is going to show up to do more videos, so I had to make my escape. Oh, and I forgot to mention, there was a DC Elseworld story where Batman got involved with the Phantom Batman mask. So, see you later.